I want to show you how to build a WordPress website using Elementor even if you have zero experience. I'm here to guide you step by step in creating a stunning website using drag and drop for complete beginners. No coding necessary. Don't miss this chance to transform your online business and elevate your online presence. Stay with me to discover the easiest, most powerful way of building a beautiful website. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to guide you through 3 simple steps: setting up your website, downloading a free website template, and customizing that template to make it uniquely yours. Now, these 3 steps are straightforward, and I'll break them down for you one by one so that you can follow along without any confusion. Let's dive right in and start with step number 1, which is setting up your website. First, let's set up your website by starting and getting a domain name and some web hosting. A domain name is your website's unique address that's on the internet. It's like the street address that people would use to find your business in the real world. While web hosting, on the other hand, is a service that keeps your website files on a server, allowing it to be viewed online. Basically, you just rent that server space because it's connected to the internet. Now, there's a lot of hosting companies out there that you can choose from, and you can of course decide who's right for you. Now, I personally always recommend Hostinger for all of my followers because they have the most affordable prices and their service is absolutely top tier. I could go into all of the specific reasons why I love them and why I use them all the time, but I don't want to waste your time, so you can just take my word for it. They are a wonderful company to partner with, so that's who I'm going to use in today's example. Now, I'll make this very easy for you to follow along. Just click on the first link that's down in the description of this video, or you can go to createaprowebsite.com/Hostinger. and you'll be met with a page that looks like this. And so this is our co-branded landing page that we have with Hostinger. And so you'll notice the link right up here, createaprowebsite.com/Hostinger. And it's going to take you here. So scroll on down and you'll see that we have 3 different plans available for you. We have the premium plan, the business plan, and the cloud startup plan. All of these plans are great. I always recommend the business plan because of the affordable price that you pay for all the features that you get. You get up to 100 websites. You get a free email, which is like, it's going to be like support@yourdomain.com or tech@yourdomain.com or something like that. Free SSL certificate, which is the encryption and security for your website. A free domain as well. Here it is, free domain, $9.99 value right there, so that's pretty nice. So I always recommend the business plan. So I'm going to click on choose plan, and then we'll move on to the next screen here. So the first thing you get to choose right here is your period. Right up on top, we've got 1, 12, 24, and 48 months. You're basically just choosing how often you make your payment. So are you going to pay every 12 months? Are you going to pay every 24 months, every 48 months, that sort of thing? Obviously, when you pay every so longer, so whenever it's like 24 or 48, you're going to save 480 over here, 240 over here, 120 over here. So the bigger your contract, the more money you save. Just going to put that out there for you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and select right here for 12 months. I usually do 12 months for most of my plans, unless I really plan on having this for a long time, because 12 months links up with your domain name. Your domain name, like domain registration, is per year, so might as well just have my hosting sync up with that as well. Anyways, 12 months, scroll on down. We're going to create an account with Hostinger, so you have to put in your email and password, and this is just creating a Hostinger account. That's all it is. And then right after that, you just got to put in all of your billing information, and they accept everything on the left over here, and then over here on the right, put in all of your information. Make sure that your coupon code, it should automatically apply, but make sure your coupon code says Create a Pro Website, just like this, and then click apply, and that will give you an even further discount on your hosting plan. So you want to make sure you apply that coupon code. But with the hosting plan, let's see what we get. We have daily backups for your website, which daily backups are going to basically every single day, usually it's weekly, but every day Hostinger is going to save an entire copy of your entire database, your entire website, so that if your site ever goes down or gets hacked or crashes or breaks or something like that, you always have a backup that you can just reinstall and have a perfectly functioning version of your website. So backups are really important, and you're getting that for free. Usually you have to pay like $25 a month for it. You get your domain name for free, which is usually $10. You get a setup fee, which is free, and then you get your domain privacy protection. Domain privacy protection protects your personal information from like telemarketers and solicitors who have access to the Whois database. Whois, all caps, is the database where you can go and see all domains with their public contact information, which will show like your address and your phone number. So when you get domain privacy protection, it just protects you from that. So you're not going to get like a ton of phone calls from telemarketers. And trust me, as a web designer, that's very helpful. So you get that for free as well. I'll see you guys after you fill out all of your billing information and you just create your own little email and password right here. So I'll see you guys on the next screen. Okay, so after you fill out your purchase information, you'll be met with this screen, which is like the Hostinger onboarding. It's just to help you get started. So first, do you want to create a website or migrate one? We're going to say click on create a website because that's what what we're doing today. Next, we get to choose if we want to use WordPress or the Hostinger web builder. And we're going to be using WordPress, which, I mean, WordPress is so well known now. It's like 43% of the entire internet uses WordPress. It's ridiculous. So very large platform. You're in good hands. We'll click on next. And after that, we get to create our WordPress account. Now, just a second ago, literally a second ago, we created our Hostinger account. Now we're creating our WordPress account. So you're just going to put in a new password here, just like this, and we'll say next. And next it's going to ask what kind of a website you want to build. Obviously, depending on whatever website you're building, this is where you'll select that, but I'm going to say a business and services website. I'm just going to pretend I'm building a website for like a coffee shop for this tutorial. So we're going to do a business and service. Next, it's going to ask if you want to download a theme or a template, but I'm going to show you guys that in step 2 with the specific software we're going to be using. So just click on create blank site at the bottom. After that, it's going to ask if you have any recommended plugins that you want to download. The only one you really need is WP Forms, and it's actually already going to come with the template we're downloading, but might as well download it now in the background and it'll save the template a tiny bit of time. So I just leave this one checked right here and click on next. And then after that, it's going to ask if you want to generate any content with AI, which, I mean, you can do that in ChatGPT whenever you want. I don't really need to do it right here, so I'm going to say skip, just like this. And then next, we get to choose our domain name. So all you get to do is put in your business name. I always recommend a .com, so let's try something like .com. So coffeeshopcapw.com is kind of what I'm going with. Let's see if it's available. Yes, it is. So coffee shop. Oh, that's coffee shop vibe. So coffee shop CAPW is not available. All right. So let's do coffee shop dash. Terrible idea. Don't put a dash in your URL here. I guess coffee shop CAPW S for plural. Okay, cool. It's available. Because this is a tutorial, I don't necessarily care the exact domain that I get, but obviously you want to get the exact domain that you need for your business. So we're just going to go with coffee shops. Let's do coffee shops. CAPW. So it's plural coffee shops. So it's coffeeshopscapw.com is what I'm going to go with. Of course, this is going to be your name. So, you know, if you're PlayStation, for example, it'd be playstation.com. Or if you're Sony, you know, you get the idea. Put your business name here. I'm going to select coffeeshops.com or capw.com and click on next. And all you have to do is just click on finish registration right here. And now we just get to wait for it to load, which it's going to take a second. Okay. And so the next step is just Hostinger's CDN, which is a content delivery network service. So a CDN basically just makes your website load faster in different places all around the world. If you're not going to do an international market, this isn't a big deal for you, but it comes included with your hosting package, which is a really sweet deal. So there's a whole technical explanation that I could give you as to like how CDNs work and what it is. Just know it makes your website work faster. All you have to do is just pick the ping that's closest to you. That's it. So I'm over here in Texas, so I'm going to make sure that I'm prioritizing the servers in Arizona for me. After that, just click on next. It's going to install WordPress, set up your website, set up the H panel and everything, so it's going to take a little while. I'll just see you guys whenever this is done loading. Okay, so once that's done loading, you'll be met with your H panel. The H panel is like the server side back end of your website. You don't really need to touch anything in here. Only thing is just double check your domain status right here. So right now mine's active. Yours might say pending. Mine was active the second this loaded. It's okay if it's pending though. What pending means is it just means that your website is propagating first, which propagation is when Hostinger takes the new domain name that you just purchased and it sends it out to every server in the world to let everyone know you just bought it and it's live and it's taken. That propagation process can sometimes take an hour, sometimes it takes like up to a day, sometimes it's instant. So just sit here and you can wait until it says active if you really want to. But even though it says pending, you can still follow along with me to the next step. I do it all the time in tutorials. It's perfectly fine. So regardless of whatever your domain status is, you can click on this button right here that says admin panel. And when you click on it, it's going to take you on a new tab over to your WordPress dashboard. And that's where we're going to spend the rest of the entire tutorial building your website. And automatically your website will switch from pending to active. So you don't have to do anything. I was just saying, if you see that and you're worried, don't be, it's okay. But I'm going to go ahead and cut to right. Well, I don't need to cut anymore. We're here. So this is the WordPress dashboard. This is where we're going to spend all of our time for the rest of the tutorial. With your website all set up and ready to go, the next step is downloading a free website template. From your WordPress dashboard, we're going to be installing a plugin that allows you to download and install a complete website template for free. It also downloads all of the necessary plugins needed to run the site. It truly is an all-in-one package. This saves you hours of avoiding the tedious process of creating color palettes, choosing font combinations, designing sections from scratch, and so on. By using a template, you eliminate half of the work, and all you have to do is just simply replace some of the pictures and text with your own, and then the website's completely yours. The plugin that we're using today is called Starter Templates, which streamlines the entire process. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So from your WordPress dashboard, we're gonna go over here to the Plugins tab. You can hover your mouse over it, and you'll see a little sectional tab pops up or whatever. Go down here to Add New Plugin right here. Now, I always like to have a dashboard to bounce back to, so you'll see me open new things on new tabs all of the time. That way I don't have to figure out how to exit out of certain plugins to get back to my dashboard. There's a little pro tip for you. So anyways, if you open it up on a new tab, you can still jump back to your dashboard if you need to, but we're gonna go to the search bar over here in the top right corner and just search for starter templates. Just like this, and we will see it pop up right here as the first option. So Starter Templates, Elementor, WordPress. Click on Install Now. It's going to take a second to install, and that's perfectly fine. And then we're going to click on Activate. And then usually after you activate it, it's going to redirect you to the plugins page just like this. And so now we're inside the plugins page. And you notice whenever we hovered over it in our dashboard, we had installed and then all or add new. The installed page just shows you all of the plugins that you have installed. So we have Hostinger's 2 plugins, 3 plugins. We have a Lightspeed cache that's installed on our website. We have Starter Templates and WP Forms Lite, which WP Forms is the contact forms that we were talking about earlier. So from this page, we're just going to click on Get Started right here, and it's going to open up Starter Templates. Okay, so now we're in Starter Templates. We have the AI website builder and the classic starter templates. The AI builder, if you guys want to go that route, you click on, it's going to redirect you to ZipWP. You have to create an account and do all that. We're just going to click on Create Starter Templates. And then this is the most important step right here. Make sure you click on Block Editor and change it to Elementor in the top right corner. If you don't do that, you're going to download an incorrectly formatted template, and it's not going to work very well, and things are going to be weird, and you're going to wonder why. That's why you downloaded the wrong template. So Elementor in the top right corner, because that's the page builder we're going to use. And then from here, you can scroll through here and look through all of their templates they have available. Whenever you think you like one, you just click on it like this. You can see a preview full screen right here whenever it decides to load. You get a full interactable preview of the website. I mean, you can click on the About page and that's it. We can click on the Contact page and view the Contact page. So fully interactable. Close out of that. We'll go back to the top. We have all these categories up on top you can look through. So if you're a business, maybe you're an agency or a restaurant or a hotel or something like that. Maybe you're a personal and you're trying to do a portfolio for yourself, or you're a photographer, an artist, musician, author. There's a template for everybody. Or you can just go to the search bar and search for what you want. I already know there's a template called generic because I already looked at it off camera, and here it is. It's called generic. It's just a generic website. It'll be a really good starter website for a beginner, but it still looks really good, and I do kind of like its intuitive design. So we're going to click on this one just like this, and then you'll have a preview, full screen, just like I showed you a second ago. So this is the generic template. As you can see, we can scroll through the entire website, and I think it looks really good. Some changes can be made, and we'll do that later. We have an About page, an Offerings page, which I kind of like the Offerings page like that, and then we have a Contact page. It's very clean, very neat and simple, which is a good beginner website to work on. So over here on the left-hand side, we can choose things like the font pair or combo or category, whatever you want, which will change all the font on the website. So you'll see that I'm choosing different categories or combinations, right? And you can pick which one you like the best. I'll just stick to the default one that comes with the template. So I think it was this one. And then after that, we have the color palette right over here. So we have green right now, which you can see the buttons are green. If I change it to red, you'll see everything changes to red. Purple, now the buttons are purple. Green, blue, yellow. You guys get the idea. I kind of like this green color. I might change it a little bit later, and I'll show you guys how to do that. But you'll notice that green is for the entire website. Watch, if I change it to red, it's going to change. Well, I guess these are not built in with the same color scheme. That's a little weird of a glitch, but we can fix that. You'll see the button is red. Go to the Contact page, see how everything changed to red. You're basically changing the global color palette. So I'll stick to this kind of green color, but I think I'm going to change it to like a cyan later, and I'll show you how to do that. So we'll click on Continue. Next, it's going to ask if you want some additional features. I just say skip this step. And then you don't have to tell them a little bit about yourself, and you don't have to share non-sensitive data if you don't want to. I personally like my privacy, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But make sure it says install and activate the Astra theme. And then whenever you're ready to go, just click on Submit and Build My Website, and it's going to install all of the plugins, themes, and forms, etc. You see that right there. Everything that's necessary for this entire template. So we'll give it a second. I'm just going to cut straight to it, and we'll get to it. Okay, and so now you'll see, congratulations, your website is ready. It says it took 18 seconds. I feel like it took a little longer than that, but it's whatever. So whenever you're ready, you can click on View Your Website, or visit dashboard. But since I already have my dashboard, let me just show you. Visit the website. It's going to open on a new tab. And now we can see that anytime someone up here in the top left corner goes to coffeeshopcapw.com or coffee shops, because it's plural, anytime someone goes to my new domain name, they're going to see this web page, right? Or this website. So we know the template is downloaded. I'm going to close out of that tab and go back to my WordPress dashboard here. By the way, if you don't have an extra tab and you're viewing your website and you don't know how to get back, this little admin bar does not show to anybody except for you when you're logged into your profile to edit your website. So don't worry, but this is your admin bar. So you would go over here to your website name and then you'll see dashboard right there. Click on it and it'll take you back to your WordPress dashboard, just like this. And also you don't really need your Hostinger page anymore, so we can just close out of that and I'll leave you on the dashboard. Okay, so now that we have our template, the final step is customizing it to make sure that it's truly yours. I'm going to be using Elementor, an intuitive drag and drop tool that makes the process incredibly easy and enjoyable to use. Customizing your site will be slightly more of an involved step than the previous steps, but I'm going to guide you guys through the entire thing with clear instructions, so don't worry. First, I'll show you how to use Elementor to make adjustments to your website. Then we're going to refine the header and footer of the WordPress website with the Astra theme. And then finally, we're going to tweak the mobile responsive settings in Elementor to make sure that your site looks great on all of the devices. Now, this is going to be straightforward and fun, so don't worry and try to enjoy the creative process. Let's go ahead and dive in and get started with Elementor. So in order to open Elementor from your WordPress dashboard, there's two ways of doing it. First, you can click on your website name up here in the top left corner, and that's just how you open your website. Now, I always right click, and again, I say open on a new tab. So from here, this is your WordPress website, which for some reason it looks like it logged us out. Okay, so off camera, I just refreshed the page, and it looked like for some reason my Chrome needed an update right then and there. So that shouldn't normally happen to you guys, but when you're building websites, glitches happen all the time, and you just have to figure it out. So all I did was I just went over here to the top right corner and just finished my Chrome update, and then now when you open your website on a new tab, there we go. There's my admin bar that was showing up literally just a second ago, but it is what it is. So whenever you open up your website on a new tab, first way of opening Elementor is you literally just click on Edit with Elementor right there. And whatever page you're looking at is going to be opened inside of Elementor. So as you can see, it's loading and then it's going to display. Perfect. You can close out of all these little notifications, close out of this navigation bar over here, and voila. So the first way is going like this. Now, sometimes that navigation bar doesn't show up, and there's still a way of getting in if you don't figure out how to get it back, which, by the way, mine was just a Chrome update. But if that happens to you, you can also go to the Pages tab, just like this. Hover your mouse over Pages and go to All Pages. And then whatever page you want to edit, because you have to edit each individual one, you go to the home page and say Edit with Elementor right here. And that way, if for some reason this navigation bar up here isn't showing up like it did for me, then there is another way of doing it. So just a heads up. Anyways, welcome to Elementor. This is going to be the super easy drag and drop page builder that we're going to use to build this whole website. And I say build lightly because it's already built for us, which is glorious. All we have to do is just, swap out this picture for a picture of a coffee shop, change the text to say something about a coffee shop, and then all of a sudden it's a coffee shop website. It's that easy. So first of all, let me just show you around Elementor, and then we'll start practicing together and putting in all the pictures and text. So first, let's go over how it works. You'll notice that whenever I hover my mouse over this whole area, you've got this pink box that lines around this entire area all the way to here, all the way around, right? That is called, well, it's called a container technically. Is it a container? You hover your 6 marks over the 6 dots right here. It says edit container. So Elementor has two different versions, for lack of better words. You have Flexbox containers and you have sections, columns, and widgets. Flexbox containers is the newer version of Elementor. Personally, my favorite. I really like using the Flexbox containers. Some people prefer the old version of Elementor. You probably have the new version because you've downloaded everything the same way that I have. So let me show you how to use this. Not that any of that was actually necessary for you, but you get the idea. So you've got this entire area and it's a container. You put things in a container. So inside of this container, we have these, which are like widgets. You hover your little mouse over it, it's a heading widget. Hover your mouse over this one, and it's a button widget, right? You have all of your widgets over here, which I guess Elementor calls them elements. So I'll try to start calling them elements for you. So that's an element, that's an element, that's an element. So all of these elements are inside of this massive container. That's all you got to remember. This is a container up here. This is a container down here, which overlaps. It's supposed to be a little fancy, but it's still just a container. Scroll down. This is a container right here. As you can see, the pink box goes all the way around it. Here's another container and another container and another container. It's pretty easy to spot where the containers start and finish, right? This is going to be another container. And then inside of each of these containers, you have an element. This is an element, element, element. It's very simple. Okay, so you understand, I guess, the hierarchy of how Elementor works, right? Over here on the left-hand side are all of your elements. And here's the drag and drop part. If I wanted to add a picture, for example, drag the image right here onto my website, and wherever this little pink line appears, you see that pink line? That's where it's gonna go. So if I put it in between these two, now there's a giant picture in between. And if you wanna add a picture, for example, you don't have to follow along with me, you would just add a picture. So something like this, click select, and voila, now there's a picture on my website. Super simple. I'm not gonna leave it there, so you can right click on it and say delete the picture. See how we're editing the image? Delete the image, and now it's gone again. If I wanted to add more text, I could just add a heading widget, drag it over there, and now I've got some text I can add, right? Let's delete it. I could add a video. Where's the video? Just like this, drag and drop the video. You get the idea, it's drag and drop. So whenever you wanna put something somewhere, just drag it where you want it and it's gonna go there, right? But I'm gonna delete the video. Well, sometimes when you click on an object, it starts interacting with it rather than allowing you to edit it. So you'll always be able to click on the little pencil icon that appears when you hover over that item. You see that? So if I right click on the pencil, now I can delete the video by clicking right here. Just a heads up. Very simple to use. So whenever you want something, come over here and drag it in, right? You'll notice that these are the basic widgets right here, and you have 10 of them right here. And then scroll down, you've got Pro, which you have to pay for Elementor Pro. We're using the free version today, so don't let that confuse you. We are using the free version. You don't need all these Pro features. So I'm just gonna close that little drop down. You have even more under the General tab. These are all free as well. Look at all these widgets. Look at all these widgets. You know, if I wanna throw a testimonial right here, there we go. Now there's a testimonial, and you'd have to make customizations to it, but you get the idea. That's how you can add objects, and we'll delete. So you have a ton of objects that you can add. Elements is what they're called. Okay, so you understand how Elementor works in terms of dragging and dropping. Next, what happens if you want to change a picture or change some text? Well, actually first, let me just continue showing you the interface. So that's this left-hand side over here. If I click on an object, you'll see that it changes, and now I have 3 tabs: Content, Style, and Advanced tab. The Advanced tab, we're not going to touch too much, except for if I add padding. So just imagine if I add padding into something, it makes more space, right? So if I add some padding to the top of this item that I'm editing over here, see how it adds a whole bunch of space in there? That's all it is. So if you just want a little bit more space in between objects, right? I'm gonna hit Control or Command Z on my keyboard, and it's gonna undo what I just did. Just an undo button. So the Advanced tab, we're not going to touch much. The Style tab just changes the style of the object. So you can change the color, the font, if it's underlined or not. You're basically just changing the style of the object. If you're changing, a button, you would change the color of the font, the color of the button, the hover color. It's just styling. And then the Content tab is where you change the content. It's almost like it's labeled for a reason. So the Content tab is where you would change the text that's being displayed right here. And you'll see that there's text right here. And if I look over here, it says, we will write a headline. We will write a headline. So obviously this is where I change the text. So that's the interface for when you click on an object. Anytime you want to see all those widgets or elements again, click on the plus button right here. And now I can add a new widget or element. You got site settings over here. You don't need to touch. Over here, you've got structure. You don't need to touch. This right here in the top center is your mobile responsiveness. And we're going to deal with that after we customize the website. So you don't have to look at that right now. I'll show you in a little bit. And then over here on the right-hand side, you've got the preview button, which whenever you click on it, it's going to open up your entire website as a preview on a new tab. So you can see what you just edited, right? As if you were a visitor. And then you have the publish button, which the publish button you'll see me click on a lot. It basically publishes whatever changes you just made live to the internet, and it saves your work. So you'll see me hitting publish all the time to obviously publish my work and save my work. Okay, so now what if I want to change text or pictures on my website? This is how you do it, and then we're going to practice together and build the entire website together. So how you do it is, let's just say I want to change some text right here. You literally just click on it. See how my cursor's visible? Now I can start typing on my website. It's that simple. You'll notice that this is all caps right now, and my caps lock is not on. If you notice that, it's because in the style settings under typography, this is where you change like the font, the size of the text, right? The size, the weight. So if you want to make it like bold, you can go 900 bold and see how it's bold now. Let me change that back to default. But under typography, one of them is called transform, and you'll see how it transforms it automatically to uppercase. I could transform it to lowercase, or you could leave it as default, and then however I type is just being displayed. So just a heads up, let me go back to transform and change it to uppercase. But that being the case, if you want to type on your website, you literally just click and start typing. It's that simple. If I want to change this one right here, click, there's my cursor, start typing, right? You can also go over here to the left-hand side. I'm still editing this widget. Go to the left-hand side, wherever the title is, and I can start typing. And it's the exact same thing. So very simple, right? Next, if I want to change a button text, click on the button, and it doesn't get easier than this. You click on whatever you want to edit and then look at the settings on the left, right? So click on the button, look at the settings. On the left-hand side, I've got text, call to action. You see how it says call to action right there? If I just change this to learn more, see how the text changes? It's simple. If I want to change the link, so obviously when you click on a button, it takes you somewhere, right? This is where I would put the URL. So for example, if I put YouTube, just like this, and I click on publish to save my work, and then I click on the preview button to preview my website. Now, if I click on learn more, which has the YouTube URL, it's going to open up YouTube, as you can see. So whatever URL you put here is what's going to link this button to. Now you can also search by pages, right? So let me just put that hashtag, which the hashtag is just a placeholder. Click on publish to save. Really quickly, don't follow along with me. This is just to show you what it does. If I go to the pages tab again, like I showed you just a second ago to edit with Elementor, remember that? These are all of the pages. It's just a list of all of the pages on my website. I have a home page, contact, about, offerings, and then there's a privacy policy that's a draft, so it's not even visible. I'm just going to trash it real quick. I'm just going to delete it. I only have 4 pages on my website. And if you notice, when I view my website, again, don't follow along with me. I'm just showing you. There's only 4 pages right here. I've got home, about, offerings, contact, right? Okay. See all these pages. If I want to link this button to my contact page or to my about page, let's do to the about page because it says learn more. So you want to learn more about my company? Go to the about page. Okay. Well, all you got to do is just type in the name of the page, about, and Elementor is going to automatically search your WordPress website backend and go, ooh, I found 3 pages on your website. So it says about, there's home and offerings. You'll see that the about is a page right there. So I want the about page linked. It's going to automatically pull my URL for the about page. So coffeeshopcapw.com/about. You know the drill, publish, preview. And if I click on this now, so now if I go learn more, I want to learn more about your company, it's going to take me to the about page. And we're going to edit this one later on. Right. Okay, so you get the idea. So that's how you edit text. That's how you edit a button, right? And then if you want to edit a picture, most of the time, if it's not a background picture is a different animal. If it's just a picture element, like a widget, click on it. You see I'm editing the image right here, and there's the picture. Click on the picture again, and I can choose from my website. Now, you have pictures on your computer, and you want to upload them to your website. So you'll take those pictures on your computer, upload them to your website, and they appear here. This is your media library inside of your website. So you want to take the files from your computer, upload them to your website here, and then you can choose from here and put it on your website. That's how it works. So we're going to upload my own pictures of coffee shops, which I downloaded off camera, by the way. So upload files, click on select files from your computer, and then open up your browser. That's all it is right here. And so I'm going to go over here to my downloads folder, and I have all of my images. Open up. There we go. I'm going to install all of these images, so website tutorial images, and I'm going to click on open. And this might take a second. Normally you just upload one at a time. I'm going to upload them all at the same time. So let me just go ahead and cut to when it's done. Okay. So now all of my pictures uploaded, which I'd recommend you upload your pictures as well. By the way, I got all of these pictures for free. I'll show you really fast. Go to a new tab, go to Unsplash. There we go, if I know how to type. Unsplash.com. This is where you can get royalty-free images for websites, so you can use them on your website, and if you don't have your own pictures. You can use the search bar and look for coffee, for example. Go to license right here on the right-hand side and go free, and then these are all free images you can use. See, there's a picture that's on my website. It's right here. There it is. I photo edited them a little bit, but I downloaded all my free images from here. See, there's the coffee neon sign, and there's the coffee neon sign, right? So that's how you can get some free images for your website. There you go. But anyways, now that we have our pictures uploaded, I forgot what picture I'm editing right now, but let's just throw this square in there. I think we were editing that picture widget. So you just select from your media library whatever image you want. You click on select, yes, and then it will swap the image out. That's simple. So again, click on whatever picture you want to edit, click on the picture again over there on the left, and then you can trade it for whatever picture you want. You know, if I want to put those trees back, I could put those trees back, but we're going to go with my square image. I cropped it on purpose into a square. Select. Okay. So that's how you change the picture, right? You guys already know how to change the text. So you would just click right here and change this text to say something else. So short line about the company. We have the highest quality beans to make your coffee. I don't know. I'm just making some stuff up here. Go to the style tab if you were too lazy to try and capitalize each word. Go to content. Click on typography. I think you know where I'm going with this, by the way. Under title, typography, I can transform it to capitalize, and then it capitalizes all the letters for me of the first letter of each word. So it's an easier way of just typing fast and then just change it to capitalize. That way you don't have to shift, you know, just save yourself some time. But now that's how you change the text, right? Want to change the text down here? Click down here and you can type whatever you want. Don't want it to say about us? Click right there and change the text. It's really simple. Change call to action. We can click on it. learn more, or you could say read more, or whatever you want, right? So learn more. So maybe instead of learn more, this could be schedule an appointment or book a table. Here, let's do that. Book a table. There we go, book a table. Now, obviously you would need some booking software or just link that to your contact page. But, you know, book a table if you have a specific way for them to do that. Obviously, whatever the title of the button is what you want the button to do. I'm just giving you guys examples here because this is a tutorial for you to learn, right? So, okay, the last thing we have to do is change a background image. So now you know how to change text, you know how to change a button, and you know how to change pictures when they're not a background picture. See, for example, that's a background picture. But if it's just a picture element, you just click on it and change the picture, right? So how to change a background, we right click way out here inside of this big old container and say edit container. Or, for example, so see I'm editing the heading, or you click on the 6 dots right up there. Same thing, if I hover down on this one, you'll see there's the 6 dots for this container, 6 dots for this container, right? Click on the 6 dots right there and you'll see it says edit container. If I hover my mouse there for long enough, edit container. So it's the same thing, but half the time that doesn't pop up fast enough for me. And when I'm going really fast, I just right click and say edit container. That's what I do. So now we're editing the background or the container, okay? We can change the height right here, drag it to make it taller or lower, right? I think actually I want to increase the height a little bit. You always want to tease the scroll. You want to show something just out of focus to entice your viewer to scroll down. So we don't want to make it, you know, too tall like this where they can't even see that picture down there, right? We want to entice, hey, there's some more stuff. Oh, there's a picture down there. What is that? Right? So that's called enticing the scroll. So maybe don't go too far with making your hero section too big, but you know, I also don't like it being this short. I think I might want a little bit more. So something kind of like this, maybe cut that box down there in half. I like how that looks personally. Next, what we do is we go to the style tab and we can change the background picture. So background pictures are just a little bit of a different animal as opposed to a picture widget. This one, you just click on it and you can change. This one, you have to say edit container, go to the style tab, and then under background as a tab, I can change the picture. So let's click on it right here and I could throw in whatever picture I wanted, right? I could throw in this coffee picture like this. See how it's repeating over and over again? I don't like that. So what we're gonna do is first say don't repeat. So no repeat. Now we've got this big black area because it's not stretching the image. So under display size, I'm going to switch to cover, which is going to stretch the image to perfectly fit the background. There we go. Or as best as it can. I don't like that picture in the background. I like having some kind of dynamic movement in the background or some kind of a scroll animation. So this is very simple. That's how you can change the background picture. Instead of doing a picture, I'm going to do a slideshow. But you can do a gradient, for example. So this is black to red, and you've got, see, black to red, which that actually kind of looks cool. I like that rich, dark black to red, you know, cherry color, you know, that's cool. We have video, and you can insert a YouTube video, and then you'll have a video play in the background, which is really cool. It does slow down your website though, so keep that in mind. And then you also have the slideshow. Slideshow is the same thing as classic, but instead of the classic picture, we're gonna go to slideshow, select images by clicking on that little plus button, and I can pick what pictures I want in the background. So let's choose this one, and, you know, maybe this one. So 3 pictures, right? Or maybe instead of that one, I could use, you know, this guy, because that's a cool coffee shop. Click on create new gallery. So now the 3 pictures that I added are here. You can click on the X to remove it. You can drag and drop to change the order. Pretty simple. Click on insert gallery in the bottom right corner, and now we have a gallery. And now every 5 seconds, here it comes, it fades to a new image. And we have some settings that we can play around with. So first of all, duration in milliseconds is 5,000. So in seconds, it would be 5. Milliseconds to seconds is 1,000. So I can go, you know, if I don't like it every 5 seconds and I want it to go faster, I could do 3 seconds. So it would be 3,000. I could do it every 2 seconds. So look, every 2 seconds, it's going to change. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Right? You see that? So I don't like that. It's way too fast. I think 5,000 actually is a very good value. Sometimes I'll go to 6,000 if I want a little bit more gravitas. Anyways, so that's duration. Transition duration. So that's how long it takes to switch from one picture to the other. It takes half a second. What if I changed it to like 100? Watch this. It's basically just going to snap to the next picture. Forgot I changed it. There we go. See how it snaps to the next picture? Sometimes I like to change this instead of 500 to 1,000, right? So now every 5 seconds, it's going to change slowly, like as a nice gradual fade. I really like that. It looks very smooth. It doesn't like catch your eye and make you twitch. Okay. Next, change the background size to cover and background position to center. That just says stretch the image to fit the background perfectly and focus on the center of the image. That's all it is. Lastly, turn on the Ken Burns effect, and now you'll get this cool slow-mo zoom in. Adds a little bit of a dynamic background to your hero section. I really like this, so I'm gonna leave it the way it is. Next, we have the background overlay. So first, background overlay, I can choose a color, and then I can make it completely that color, so it's all black, or completely no color. and it's like bright images. That's what my images look like, but see how hard it is to read the text? If I add a background overlay, now it's really easy to read the text, but I can still see those pictures in the background. And of course you could change the color if you want like a orangish background overlay. You know, you could do something like this, right? There's yellow, and then I could reduce or increase the opacity. So whatever you want to do. I personally always lean towards darker color palettes. That's just my personal preference. So I'll go black, and then I'll increase it till I feel like I can read the text really well, but still see the pictures pretty decent. And I think that looks really good. Even just that 5,000 and 1,000, I might still increase. It feels like it's still going really fast for me, but that's just personal. Okay, so that's how you change a background image. Scroll down, next background image, you say edit container just like this, style tab, there's your picture, and we can change it. Let's do it right now. Might as well. Let's change it to another coffee shop picture. Select. There we go. So that's that one. Actually, instead of that coffee shop, because I'm going to use that for the call to action at the bottom every time, let's change it to like, I don't know, this one right here is a good one. Click on select. There we go. So we have a coffee shop in the background. So let's start. Now that you know each individual element, let's go through the entire website and just change things as we go. So we'll just kind of work together here. I'm going to go kind of fast because you now know how to change things. And this will just be good practice for you. And you can always hit spacebar on your keyboard to pause as I'm working. So if we want to change this text right here, we could change this to say something for your little subtitle. I am going to change under the style tab typography. Let's reduce the size a tiny bit. It's a little too big for a subtitle. Type whatever you want. I'm going to leave the placeholder text there because I don't want to try and think of text off the top of my head right now. You could also, pro tip, go to ChatGPT and use AI and just say, hey, write me a little subtitle, write me a title for a hero section of a website, write me this, write me that. It'll output everything in seconds. This text right here, maybe I don't want it so long. Maybe instead of this, I want something that says something like, you know, quality coffee you can taste. And then immediately go to the style tab, change the typography and transform it to, you know, I could say uppercase. And then maybe I reduce the size just a little bit so that it's full screen like this. I notice there's some padding on the sides. So let's go to the advanced tab and you'll see that on the left and on the right, there's 10. If I remove that real fast, see how now it's going to be able to stretch to the edges. Go back to the style tab under typography and I can increase the size just a smidge more. So something like this. Quality coffee you can taste. And so next we have the button, right? You click on the button right here. I think there's a little too, it's lacking right here for my hero section. So maybe I want to go and click on the plus button and I could add like a divider in between the button and the text right here. Let's go to the style tab and change it to white. Just like this. We'll go back to the content tab and I'm going to adjust the width down to like, well, first change the alignment to center and now change the width so we can kind of center it like this. Go back to the style tab and change the weight to like 3 or 4. There we go. So now we have like a little divider bar right there, just to add a little extra something. You can of course add more widgets to your hero section. I think the hero section is looking fantastic after those changes. So I'm going to click on publish to save my work, and usually section by section, I'll save my work and move on. So scroll on down. Next, we have this little about section. We have the highest quality beans to make your coffee. Maybe instead of a picture of the beans, you have a picture of a team member or your entire staff. Put that picture there. And then instead of saying we have high quality beans, you say we've got the most friendly employees. So you'd say we have the most friendly employees, and then here's a picture of your employees, right? Obviously you want your text to match your picture. You want your text to match your button and what it does, those kinds of things. So just think through what you do. So maybe instead of about us, you could say, you know, about our beans or about our coffee or something like that. You know what I mean? And then down here, you guys know how to change the text, and then you can link this button. If this is about your team, change it to the about page. If this is about your beans, maybe you want to have like a page where it's got your menu and you can say what kind of coffee beans you use for what coffee drinks. You know what I mean? There's an idea. Scroll on down, publish to save your work. But we already kind of changed both of those two sections, so that's why I'm moving a little faster. So next we have like this little core value section. And this is up to you whether you want to keep it or delete it. But if you like the core value section, this is where you can change your subtitle to say, this is what we believe. And then you could change this text right here to say something like, we here at, you know, coffee shop CAPW believe in quality coffee or, you know, top-notch service. Say something here and then put your core values right here. Friendly staff. It doesn't have to be core values. These could just be benefits. So for example, I could click here and I could say friendly staff. Click on this one and I can change the text to great coffee, right? Great tasting coffee. There we go. And then I can change the third one to something else like, you know, maybe the ambiance or something like that. Maybe like a cool environment. Or maybe I want to say free Wi-Fi at my coffee shop or complimentary first coffee. You know, these could just be benefits. So you're saying this is a little bit more about your company. Like, we believe in the best service possible. We have the friendly staff, great tasting coffee, and a warm environment. You know, we got really nice couches and a fireplace in the coffee shop, something like that, right? Okay. If you want to change these numbers, you just click on it. I don't know why you'd want to change the number. It's already numbered for you, but you just click on it and change your text right here. Go to the style tab if you want, and you can change the color, right? But I wouldn't change the color on this side. Use the global button because that is using your global color color palette that we chose when we first downloaded the template, right? By the way, let's take a quick timeout from Elementor. I'm going to jump back into my dashboard. I want to show you something very quickly. I want to show you guys how to change all of the colors on your entire website all from one place. Just like we did at the beginning when we downloaded this template in step 2, I'm going to show you right now how to do it. So that way you're not changing it by clicking right here, because then if you change it right here, it won't change when you change all of the colors, if that makes sense. So if you want to change and you don't like this green for some reason, let's go back to the dashboard. By the way, if you don't have a dashboard tab open, which I keep recommending you do, you have to click over here on the E, and then you have to say exit to WordPress, say go to my dashboard. That's what you would do. But I'm going to leave my WordPress up, or Elementor. Let's publish to save our work real fast. We're going to open up our website on a new tab again. So follow along. Open up our website on a new tab again. This time, instead of saying edit with Elementor, click on customize. Now, there's always 2 ways of getting somewhere. If that ribbon isn't there, click on appearance and go to customize right here. Either way, same thing, takes you here whenever it loads. Wonderful. So we see the website on the right. This is the Astra theme. We're going to use this to build our header and footer literally in the next sub-step, smaller step, because we have customizing the website, header and footer, mobile responsiveness. That's kind of what we're doing today. That being the case, we're going to go to the global settings and then click on colors, okay? Global settings, colors. Here's your color palette that you chose at the beginning of the video. I keep saying the beginning, but it was technically step 2. So that being the case, for example, if you want to change this green color right here, as you can see, then you would change this color 1 right here, and you could change it to whatever you want. So let's go ahead and change it to something a little bit more like what I was looking for anyways, a little more cyan. Change it to a little bit more of a cyan. Obviously I could go all white. Okay, it looks like it's not even changing. That's hilarious. This is the hover color, isn't it? Or is it just not refreshing? Give it a second. Sometimes it takes a second. Okay, so we are changing this color right here. I could make it purple, for example, and now you see it's purple. Scroll through the entire website, see how it's all changing to purple, except for those because someone forgot to change that. Whoever developed this template made a mistake. Everything. If I go to a different page, it's all going to be purple. So this is how you change all of the colors at once. But we're going to change it to like a bright, nice green looking cyan. That's kind of what I want. Yeah, that looks good. And then what I'm going to do is copy this color code and change my secondary color to match it. And then we're just going to make it a little bit darker. Yeah, just like that. That's pretty standard practice. So now whenever I hover, see how it goes to that darker blue that I just selected? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Click on publish to save your work in the top right there. Well, top right of the left menu. Click on publish, close out of the tab, and refresh your Elementor page. And now you'll see that that blue changed a little bit more to that cyan. I know I didn't change the color that much, but there you go. That's how you change all of the colors on your website. So I wouldn't recommend clicking on a button, going to the style tab, and then changing it right here. Always click on the globe. For example, if I scroll down to those 3, this is a perfect example. Go to the style tab when we're clicking on this little icon box. Click on the icon tab right here. Oh, it actually is using the global color palette, but it's using primary instead of theme, which we want theme colors. So now watch this. If I click on theme color, now whenever I change all of these global colors of this button, because I'm using that theme color right there, this will also change to red or blue or green. So let's just go ahead and change this really quickly just to fix it. Go style tab, icon, click on the globe, use theme color 1. Same thing for this one. Click on it, style tab, icon, theme color, globe, and click on theme color 1. Click on publish to save your work. There you go. Just a short little example to show you how the colors work on your website. Okay, back to Elementor. So we just finished that. We finished this one right here. So now we have this section right here. You already changed your background image to a coffee shop. We could maybe reduce the black background overlay a little bit. My goodness, it's dark. So maybe bring it back a little bit, something like this. Publish to save. Obviously, this is a little bit of a call to action. This might be where you say, book a table right now, like space is limited or something. So this is your call to action. You guys know how to change your text and everything, so I'll let you do that. Scroll on down, and next we kind of have like these unique value propositions. This doesn't have to be value propositions, or the one above doesn't have to be core values. Just see that it's like, it's listing 3 things, and then think to yourself, are there 3 things that I want to list? Maybe it's benefits. Maybe it's your services. So maybe you want to say we do espresso, cold brew, and iced coffee. Terrible example because obviously coffee shops have like a huge menu of a ton of things, but you get the idea. Maybe if you're a lawn care company, you say you can cut lawns, you do basic landscaping, and you do planting. Those are your 3 services. And then over here on the left, you would say services that our company provides. And then right up here, you would change this text to just say services, right? You just click right up here, change all this. Services. See what I mean? You can be very creative here. And this is the fun part of web design. You get to kind of just decide what you want where, right? So say services, say these are the services that this coffee shop provides. And then here's service 1, service 2, service 3. And you guys know, you click on it, you either type directly on screen or just look for where the text is on the left. So headline for company, click over there and you can type. Same with these. Click on it, change the text. Click on it, change the text. Okay, scroll on down. Now we have this testimonial section right here. You can either decide to change it and make it look a little bit cooler, or you can leave it the way it is. I'm gonna show you a little trick. Okay, so let's get a little more complicated here. I'm trying to keep things as basic as possible for you, but let's click publish to save our work. We're gonna duplicate, okay, let's not duplicate. We're gonna create another testimonial section as an example for what you could do to any other section on this website, okay? I'm gonna click on the plus button next to edit section. So if this is to edit the container, this is to add a new container. And this is to delete the container that I'm hovering on, right? So for example, if I say duplicate, so now I have 2 of these testimonial sections, right? If I click on the X right here, it deletes it, okay? So that being the case, if I click on the plus button, I can add a new section container in between these two. I'm gonna click on the S for starter templates, which is that same, you remember these templates that we downloaded? Instead of pages, go to blocks. This is a bit of a pro tip for you. This will save you so much time. Like if you have a client ask you to add a new section, like, hey, can you add a video section? Or hey, can you add a gallery section? Instead of building it from scratch, just add a block. Come down here and look for like a gallery or for example, services. And then you have all these blocks that I can just insert and then customize a little bit, right? Let's do a testimonial, because that's what we're doing, right? Testimonials. And maybe I'll pick one of these. Some of these look kind of nice. Or maybe instead of testimonials, I choose services and I actually do go with the services route and I could choose something like this. Let's just change to testimonials and we'll just pick one that I think looks good. Maybe we do something like, let's keep it simple and we'll choose this one. Click on it. You'll view what it looks like. Say import block. It's going to take that and put it right where you were just looking. Imported. So click on the little X button. So now here's that one that we were looking at and it's in between this guy and this guy up here, right? Okay, so that's how you insert a completely new section. Now let's just kind of play with this for a second. All you gotta do is, it says our happy clients. You don't really need to change anything. Click on this guy and just change the picture. So you click here, upload a picture of whoever you want for your testimonial, for example. I don't have another picture of a person right now, so we'll just use the same picture. But that's how you would change the picture. If you wanna change the text, we've got his name down here. There's Ron Burnwood, so you change it right there. And if you wanna change the text is up on top right here. That's it. And then if you wanna change the little icon color, click on it. It's a separate icon. Go to the style tab and change the color to like theme color 1, right? I can also right click and say copy and I can paste the style and I'll paste just the color, right? So paste style. And look at that. We already have a brand new testimonial section if we wanted to get rid of this one because we wanted pictures, for example. So just an idea to show you guys you can add new sections inside of this page. I'm gonna click on the X button just to delete it because I just wanted to show you guys, but I'm trying to stick to this demo as close as possible because I just want you to know that all you have to do is just download a template, change the pictures and text, and that's it. So the testimonial section's done. I mean, all you gotta do is click here again, go to the content tab. You can change the icon, which I don't know why you would want to, but you could change the icon right here by clicking and you can scroll through all the icons they have. You can change the text. So here's the paragraph. Here's the paragraph. I don't know why they put the paragraph in the title and the description is the title. It's weird. They flip-flopped it. It's just whoever built this template. So if you want to change testimonial author name, you just change it right here. Easy peasy. Scroll on down and we have a call to action section. This one, again, we just edit the container, style tab, and we just change the background and we'll choose that coffee shop picture, this one. So now I've got a coffee shop in the background. And again, you would say, check out our merch and you could have a merch page where it has, like Starbucks has all of their, mugs and cups and everything. Maybe you do that. Okay, so that is how you customize your website and make it look beautiful. Whenever you're done, click on publish to save your work, just like this. And then you can click on preview if you want to take a look at what your website looks like if you were a visitor. So this is someone coming to the website fresh. They're like, wow, look how fancy this website looks. It's nice and clean and professional. Everything's really easy to read. There's a lot of open room, so it feels breathable. It's nice. But what about the other pages, right? We have the home page, but if I go to the about page, it's still a bunch of pictures of nature and dummy text. Same thing with the offerings page. Bunch of dummy text and pictures, right? Contact page, same thing. Really fast. I'm not going to change text, but I'm going to show you guys how to customize the other pages on your website. So again, right, let's close out of Elementor, go back to your dashboard. Open up your website on a new tab. Remember when I said edit with Elementor, but we have to be on the home page to edit the home page? Well, if you want to edit the about page, click on it and then say edit with Elementor. And now we're going to edit the about page with Elementor. You have to do it for every page, a little time consuming, just, you have to do it. I'm not going to change any of the text. You guys already know how to do that. I'm just going to change the pictures so you guys get like a feel for what it would look like if it was a coffee website. So let's do this one. So that's a cool coffee shop. We'll change this picture to be just another coffee shop. I'm going a little fast because you guys know what I'm doing, so I'm just doing it to show you. Publish to save our work. A fast way to do this, you could say preview, click on the next page, which is offerings, and then say edit with Elementor. That's what I do. And now I'm editing the offerings page. Let's change the background of this. I'll choose, a coffee shop like this. So we've got our coffee shop. I can also go to the layout tab and maybe increase the max height a little bit, up to you. Next, we have our services, or maybe this is your menu page and you have this continue, but this is where you would put offering 1, change the picture. You click on it, change the picture. Let's just pick 3 landscape images. So I'll do the coffee just like this. Change this picture and we'll choose, okay, we'll do this one. And then we can change this one to another landscape. Let's do this one. And look at that. Now all of a sudden it's a coffee website instead of a nature website just because I changed the pictures, right? And then finally we have this background image down here. And you guys see how fast I'm going. Once you get the hang of it, you can knock out websites in less than an hour and get this up on the internet. It's so easy to do. So once we're done with that, click on publish to save our work. We click on the eyeball to preview and let's jump to the contact page. Final page of the website, by the way, edit with Elementor. Now this is where it gets a little special. I want to show you how to use your contact form and then we're done. So let's change the background picture again, style tab, change the picture. I'll just use this picture again because I'm running out of images, but you get the idea. So over here on the left-hand side, you've got text, click on it. There's 3 rows and there's 3 rows right here. Click on the first one, which you can see the address. I can change the text right here and close it up. I can change the text right here and I can change the text right here. I can rearrange by dragging and dropping. That's why they're like this. So you can decide the order just like this. I can duplicate by clicking on the paper icon and delete by clicking on the X. Very simple. Change the text, you just type, right? Down below, again, follow us. You can change that text if you want to. Lastly, we have icons. Click on the icons. They're similar to this up here. If you want to change Facebook, there's Facebook right here. The icon's already there, so you don't need to change it. But you could put in your URL right here to Facebook. And then when someone clicks on this icon, it will take them to your Facebook page. So very simple to do. Same with Instagram. Paste your Instagram account. YouTube, you would go to your YouTube channel, copy the URL like this, paste it right here. That's how you would do it. You want to add an item. You can click on add, click on the icon and maybe search for like Twitter, for example. And there's the icon. And that's how I would create Twitter. Change the title if you want to. You don't need to change the title because there's nothing there. See how the title displays? So we actually need to delete the title. And now I've got Twitter twice, so I'll delete it. That's how you add a new one. So very simple. Last thing is your contact form. Click on this little gray area because it's not selected yet. All you got to do is just select general contact form. And now you have a contact form. Super easy, right? Publish to save your work. Okay, so from here, you can change text by clicking and typing, right? And we also need to change this picture down below. So let me edit the container and change the picture. Okay, website's done, right? No, it's not. We finished changing all the pictures and text, but now we have to do the header and footer, which is the second sub-step. And then we have to change mobile responsive, which is the third sub-step of customizing your website. So we'll move on. But first, go back to your dashboard because I want to talk to you about your contact form. So go back to your dashboard. If you have to click on the E and exit to dashboard, do it. Go to WP Forms right here. Open it up on a new tab. So WP Forms. You'll see a list of all of your forms. Same if I click on pages, there's a list of all the pages. This is a list of all of the forms. Contact form, subscription form, all of that. Generic contact form, we can say edit, right? This is how you edit that contact form that's on your website. Again, it's drag and drop. So see how you have your name, your email, your message. If I want to add like a phone number, I can add a numbers field like this. See how it says numbers and all of these have the little eyeball that says it's not displayed? We need to hide that label. So click on it and you can, under Advanced tab, hide the label. So now it's matching all the others. And then we just need to add a placeholder text, right? So placeholder text under the Advanced tab, just say phone number. That's how you add a field. Super easy, right? Once you're done, click on Save Changes and you're done. Now I'm going to delete that phone number because I just don't want it by clicking on the trash can right here, delete, and then save my work again. And then you can click on the X in the corner to go back to your WordPress dashboard. Oh, forgive me. Click on edit one more time. You want to make sure that it's going to the correct email. So whenever someone fills out your contact form, go over here to the settings tab on the left and then go to notifications. Under notifications, just double check that the admin email, I would just type in your email. And then you can also customize how it's going to come into your email. So subject line, instead of saying new blank form entry, you could say, CAPW coffee shop contact form entry. So that whenever you get an email from your website, it says a new entry to the contact form. Open it, and then it'll show all of the information that they put in here. It'll show their email, their phone number, and their message. So just make sure your email's right here. Click save, and then we can completely close out of that tab. So now anytime someone fills out this form, it's going to email to your email. Super easy. And we're done. So now I'm going to exit out of Elementor and go back to the dashboard because we're going to focus on your header and footer next. And then after that, we'll go back into Elementor to change your mobile responsiveness. Okay, so in order to do your header and footer, from your dashboard, we're going to go over to the Appearance tab and again, click on Customize. Or you can always open your website on a new tab and click on Customize right there. Same thing. And so now we're looking at the customizer for the Astra theme. I don't expect you to know what that means. That's totally fine. It's just separate from Elementor because this affects the top and bottom of your website. Elementor affects the middle. That's just how it works. So we're going to be working on the header up here on the top of your website and also the footer, which is way down here, this white part at the bottom of your website. And it's really easy to do. So first of all, we can work on the logo, the navigation, and the button. So let's go over here to the left-hand side, click on Header Builder. And when we do, you'll see a graphical representation down below of what's happening up on top, right? We have a primary menu. There's your menu. We have a site title and logo. There's your logo, or it's technically the site title right now. And then here's a button. There's your button right there. Right? So if I want to edit the button, for example, I can click on the button down below over here. And now I'm editing the button and it's super simple. It says call to action, but maybe you want to say contact us and then have this link to the contact page. Now this doesn't work. This doesn't work like Elementor, where if I search like this, see how nothing happens? Well, I keep typing it wrong, but it's not going to search your pages. You have to go to your WordPress website pages like this, go and view your contact page, and then copy the URL. Copy it and paste it. Publish. So now when you click on contact us, see how it's going to take me to the contact page, right? Now there's no reason to have this little contact menu right here. So next we need to change the navigation menu, right? So let's do that now. We'll go back to the home page by just clicking on the logo site title. Under the header builder, I click on the little back button right here. We go to primary menu. And so we have to configure the menu. So click on it right here and it takes you to a completely different place inside of the settings. Let me show you where. Okay, so from the main area, instead of going to the header builder, we have to go all the way down here to menus, primary menu, and now you'll see home about services contact, home about offerings contact, right? So it's the same thing. You can, by the way, reorder them, put about at the top like this, and now about is in front, right? Let's put home in front. We can change the contact. Click on it and you can say remove, or if you say add items, there's a little X that shows up. So click on X. And that's how you can remove contact from the top. And so now we have home about offerings and then contact us takes them to the contact page. Very easy to do. Click on publish to save your work. If you want to add a custom link for some reason, you can add items to your navigation menu, but that's a different tutorial for a different day. We're keeping it simple and to the template, okay? But that is how we can add, or we'll make something useful out of the button because it just said call to action. Usually it's going to be a contact button or a schedule an appointment button or book a table, and you would obviously link it to whatever you need. But that's just an example of how to use this button to go to the contact page. If not, you can just go back and add items. Under pages, just add the contact page again, and now it's back. As you can see, I could click on contact right here, and then you could change this to say book a table or something like that. So whatever you guys need. I just wanted to show you that's how you do it. So click on publish, and we'll go back to the header builder, just like this. So we've already changed the button on the right. We've changed the navigation menu in the middle, and now we have the site title and logo. Now, there used to be a website I used to go to called Logo Maker, but now it's not free anymore. So let me show you guys a place where you can get a logo for free, but it's not always perfect. By the way, I personally recommend you always buy a logo. Like, pay someone to build a logo for you so it's custom. You can copyright it. You can do all the trademarks, legal information, all that stuff. When you get a free logo, it's kind of hard to do that. And you also have to pay attention to the terms and service from the place you get it from. But you can go over to a website called logo.com. It's literally that easy. All you have to do is click on sign in or create an account, and it's free to create an account. So let me just sign in with my account really fast. Okay, and so now we're inside of Logo Maker, and I have a free account here. I can go ahead and go over here to brand, and I can say logos right here. And from here, you can see that I've used this for other tutorials. Click on create new logo, and you have to put in your business name. So let's just say, I think it's coffee shops, plural. Enter your slogan. I don't know, I'm just making something up. What's your industry? And you can choose, let's just search real fast. Coffee shop, perfect. I'm glad that's an option. Next. It's gonna ask you to add some keywords if you want. It automatically takes some from your description and industry and title. So coffee shops, we could say, I don't know, drink, shop, caffeine if you want, whatever you want, espresso. You only get 5. So click next. And then it's going to generate a bunch of logos for you and you can pick one to use for free. There you go. Like I said, it's not the best, but it is free. So if you need a logo and you need it free, you can do this. So let's just pick one. That one's kind of cool. I like how this one's kind of minimalistic and geometric. I'm just going to do this one. Click on customize. You can change the color so it goes from pink to purple. And let's see, business name color, we have pink. Yeah, I don't know. We've got some custom builds down below. You can change some colors down here. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to actually accurately change that, but we can also modify the icon. So instead of being a circle, we could choose like a coffee cup. I like that. And we could change the color of this to be that pink too if we really wanted to. Something like that, which makes no sense because my website is all blue, by the way. So actually we probably want to change this to blue, kind of like a cyan. Click on the X. And then, oh, we still got to customize a little bit more. That's icon, slogan, business name. So we'll click on business name right here and we can change the business color. Let's go back over here to the cyan color, just like that. We can make it multicolor like this, and you can choose like 3 different colors if you want. It's kind of simple. You guys can play around with this, but once you guys have a logo that you like, let's change this also to that cyan just because they're so different colors. Obviously you want them all to link up, but I'm just doing this fast for the tutorial. Click on next. Well, actually you click on get logo. So click on get logo. It's going to ask what type do you want to get. So I'm going to, well, first you click on download right here, and then it's going to ask what type do you want? A logo zip file? Do you want brand colors? All of this stuff. I want the high resolution logo on a transparent background. That's going to be on a white background. So I want transparent. Download. It's going to ask if you want to pay for some stuff. Just say no, because look, it automatically downloaded to my computer. It's already there. There it is. So I already have my logo ready to go. So once you get your logo, close out. And now, remember we were in the header builder. You would just go to site title and logo, select logo, and upload that logo that you just downloaded to your computer. So let's go back to downloads, upload it. And when it's done, we'll say select in the bottom corner. Skip the cropping, and now my logo's being displayed. But you're probably wondering, why is the name still being displayed? Well, that's down here under site title right here. Literally just delete it, and it's gone. So now there's my logo, and it looks terrible, but there's the logo for you. Whenever you want, you can also resize the logo. Remember, we got a high resolution, so we got a big logo. So you can kind of reduce the size a little bit, and there's your logo. Just like that. Again, that is the worst logo I've ever made in my life, but just kind of bear with me. Once you're done, click on publish to save your work, and that's it. Now our header is done. Let me show you also really fast. Down below, scroll down, there's the site icon. This is going to be the worst site icon ever, but let's just pick her picture, for example. You'd have an actual icon, okay? And it's supposed to be a square, but just so that you know how to put a little icon up here. For example, if I go to YouTube, see how YouTube has a site icon and it's their logo? You want an icon to go up here. So I could choose this, say select. It's going to make me crop it into a square. So let's just crop. Oh, actually it's perfect. Let's use the mug, crop image. And now you'll see my mug is up there. So actually that was perfect. We're going to use my logo and crop it with the mug, but it has to be a square. Click on publish to save. And so now your website's branded. You have your little icon right here. If I refresh this page, you'll also see the mug appear. So now you have like a little tab with your own custom icon right there. It's cool. Okay, so now we can back out of the header builder because we're done with our navigation and header. Go down to the footer. You can see the footer builder, and same thing, graphical display of what's happening down below. All we have is the copyright. And let's keep it simple. I'm not going to add extra features. Click on the copyright and you can type whatever you want for your copyright for your website. So there you go. Whenever you're done, obviously click on publish, and that's it. Now, whenever we view our website on a new tab, it's getting very close to being done. We have our navigation, we have our site icon, the website looks beautiful, colors are matching up, except for the logo, and our footer is very simple. We also have a back to top button in the bottom right corner. That's a nice little feature that comes with the template. So your website's looking good. Last thing we need to do is click on edit with Elementor. We have to double check your mobile responsiveness. So just make sure everything looks good, because for example, we built it on a landscape rectangle. Well, what if you look at it on a phone screen, which is a vertical rectangle? We have to make sure it looks good on all modes, right? So up here in the top center, remember how I told you this is mobile responsiveness? You've got desktop, tablet, and phone, which tablet is essentially laptop. That's what I think it is. When you click on tablet, see how it looks kind of like a tablet, and then you click on phone and it makes it look like a phone. Let's just resize some of these objects so that they look correct for those different modes. Only thing I need to make clear to you, when you click on something and you want to change the setting, for example, the size, because that's way too big for the phone, click on the typography. Anytime there's a setting you want to change and you see this little icon right here, it means that it is exclusive to this responsive mode. So if I were to make the text on the phone massive like this and then go back to desktop, see how it doesn't affect my desktop? Well, there you go. So first thing I want to change when I go to mobile is reduce that size. So instead of it being something like this, which is what it was, I'll reduce it till it's like a 2-liner or a 1-liner. So maybe something like this, right? Maybe a little bit bigger, something like this so it looks like a title. Same thing with the subtitle. I'm going to click on it, style tab, typography, use the arrows and make it a little bit smaller. So maybe 10 instead of 17. I think that looks pretty good. Scroll down, compresses, instead of being side by side, it compresses to be stacked vertically. So that's nice. I think it looks really good. So because it's stacked nicely, we don't need to do anything here. So we can scroll on down some more. We can just pay attention to sizing. So if something looks way too big, like this text right here, we might want to reduce the size or leave it the way it is. That's really usually the only thing that happens in between desktop and mobile is you make the text really big on desktop and then you check mobile and you're like, whoa, it's way too big for a phone screen, and you just shrink it a little bit. Super easy. The template we downloaded is automatically designed to be responsive for all 3 modes. That's why this is so easy. If you built this website from scratch, you would have to rearrange each one of these for each page, and it's a miserable process. So templates really save time. Let's click on the laptop view or tablet view. We can scroll through again, and everything honestly looks fantastic. I don't really think there's anything I need to resize. Yeah. If you see something and you're like, whoa, that picture's too big, or that picture's too small, or something like that, just resize it. But that's about it for mobile responsiveness. I think the website's done. So we can click on publish to save our work, and we are finished. So I'm gonna take you back to the WordPress dashboard, and we're good. All right, guys. So congratulations on completing your first website. You've taken a significant step towards building your online presence. Now, as you move forward, consider exploring new ways to enhance your site further. Perhaps by learning how to speed up your website, which is a video that I have right here, or how to fix design issues to make your site look more unique, like this video right here. Good luck with your next steps, and I hope I see you guys in one of the next videos.